So I'm walking along the transition from the plantation to the hardwood stand here at Sayward. I'm going to try to capture the stark difference in sunlight that is available to the understory from the plantation behind me into the hardwoods as I walk. This hardwood stand was it was cut last 40 years ago in the late 80s. It hasn't been harvested since. During that harvest, it was given the trees in the overstory were given more sunlight, or more room to get sunlight, so more growing space. The trees now have closed off that growing space and now are again battling and touching each other for more sunlight. It is very highly stocked, meaning there are a lot of trees per acre growing in this stand, all battling for sunlight. Some are losing the battle for sunlight and are dying. Others are expressing dominance into the main canopy, and they are doing well. We do plan to do some treatments here. We plan to do a thinning and also a group selection. So we're going to thin to give the trees we want to grow more growing space. And we'd also like to get more opportunities for new growth to get established. Because the stand is so highly stocked, there is not viable regeneration in the understory. Trees we want to grow. It's a very diverse stand in the overstory, but in the understory, there's little to anything growing. There's a lot of striped maple, a lot of beech, and that's about it. So what we'd like to do is provide more opportunities for new tree growth to get established. Trees like sugar maple, trees like white ash, yellow birch, red spruce are all trees we'd like to keep growing and keep available in this forest. This is because a more diverse forest is a more resilient forest. So if you've got a monoculture of a certain tree, which we do here, we've got a lot of beech in this understory, and if nothing was done in this overstory, the likelihood of getting something else, a sugar maple, a white ash, something that's in this forest already, say something catastrophic happened, a wind event happened, all we have are these beech trees in the understory. And so if something happened in this overstory, all we're going to have is a beech forest. There's nothing wrong with beech. It does get a beech bark disease. It's a good wildlife It's a good wildlife tree, but having a whole forest of beech, not great. We want a diverse forest. So we're going to attempt to try and give opportunities for new tree growth to become established. Make our forest a little more diverse, a little more resistant and resilient to catastrophic events. So here in stand 1, another example of how dense this is. Not only the sunlight, that transition from the softwood stand, the plantation, to this hardwood. It's the available growing space. That's why it's so dark in this understory. So the trees in this overstory are tightly compact. They're touching each other. So they cannot expand. So they can't really grow up anymore. They've gone as high as this site will allow them. Their only option for more crown space is to grow out. So the goal for a lot of forest management when you do some thinning or you're trying to release trees is to give your crop trees more growing space. So you release around the crown of the trees you want to grow. All the trees in New England, for the most part, have all the water, all the nutrients they're gonna have. So forestry in New England is all about manipulating sunlight, either sunlight to the forest floor or sunlight to the trees you want to grow. If you give this sugar maple more growing space, you cut some of its neighboring trees, it's going to have more room to expand its growth. It's going to have a bigger crown. If it has a bigger crown, it can photosynthesize more. It can grow bigger faster. And we want big trees. We like big trees, not only just as a timber resource, but big trees are super important for our forests. And the trees in this stand are kind of stagnated. They have grown as big as they can in the conditions that we have now, unless other trees die. And that could take years. It could take decades for some of these overstory trees to die. Sugar maple is a super long-lived tree. And so by doing this thinning and releasing certain trees in this overstory, we're giving other trees a chance to get bigger faster, because that's what we want. We want big trees in our forest. They're super important ecologically as well.